All right, today we are going to tie a fun one to say, the Squirmy Medusa. So I feel like every time I say that, I have to explain how I came up with the idea of a Squirmy Medusa. I didn't. When I was living in Montana, I fished San Juan worms in the fall and in the spring because they work in the winter as well. And I had somebody explain to me that when the worms that this fly was named after actually are available, they tend to come off in clumps. So there was somebody in West Yellowstone, I think it's Blue Ribbons fly tires that tied the Medusa. They did it with chenille. It's basically the same fly. They use a bead. I like to use lead, but it's basically the same effect. Once the squirmy part of the San Juan worm stuff came out, I noticed I tried to tie it with that, and I didn't have much success because it looks funny having 3 heads and 3 tails with the squirmy wormy. And I kind of had given up and just tied San Juan worms with squirmy wormies. And that's how I did that. And then I saw a post of somebody that tied with chenille, and then they used rubber legs. So I happen to have bright pink rubber legs and bright pink squirmy wormy. So here we go. First thing that we're gonna do is take the lead, start a little back from halfway, and go forward 5 or 6 wraps. And then I'm just going to helicopter that off and do the same in the back. Maybe. And move that forward a little bit when I was helicoptering it off, so I'm going to move it back. I want it about in the middle of that hook. Now I'm going to take my thread, start right behind the eyelet, and just attach my thread here. And then I'm going to wrap this forward and get it behind the lead. And the reason that I want it back there is, well, that's where I start to fly, but the reason that I'm making a thread dam is what I should say, is because this thing tends to slide backwards. It almost never slides forwards. I guess you probably tie some things in forwards that stop it. Anyhow, and then I'm going to come back just a little bit to start tying this in. So first, I'm going to take, it's this bright pink, hope you can see it, rubber leg material. And I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces for the back. And I'm going to tie it right on. I moved forward a little bit when I tied that wrap on. Not that big of a deal, just go backwards a little bit. I'm going to cover that up anyways. And then you don't need to put a whole lot of wraps, 2 or 3 wraps, maybe 4 or 5, whatever you want to secure that there. And then we're going to take the squirmy wormy material. We're going to tie that in right on the same spot. This stuff tends to want to spin pretty bad. So you can put glue on it, or you can just work it back into place. It'll tend to stay there once you get it there. That was a profound statement. Anyhow, next we need this nymph skin that's in bright pink. These are things that not all fly tyers are going to have hands, so it might be something you have to go out and buy. But it works. This fly works exceptionally well. So we're just going to tie that in. I'm actually going to give this a few more wraps on. And then we're going to take this thread and run it forward. There's a lot of stuff hanging off, so the thread tends to get wound up on some stuff. Anyhow, then we're going to take our squirmy wormy material, or our nymph skin material, and we're just going to cover up that lead. Don't pull it too tight or it'll get almost transparent. You just kind of wrap it up forward. And then I'm going to secure it up there. Trim it off. Now, right behind that thread, I am going to put the other two pieces of the squirmy wormy, or actually the rubber legs. Didn't quite get one there, but we'll keep working on it. There we go, we finally got it. Try to keep those on top. And then we are going to take this squirmy wormy, and what I've got tied on here, I'm gonna cut it about in half. And then I'm gonna tie this piece right. Trying to give myself a little bit of room at the eyelet to finish this fly. There we go. Wrapped it up back towards the top. Oh, and I cut it right off. That's all right. I have plenty left. I can put it back on there. Just tie it on a little bit better this time. Give that 4 or 5 wraps, and that's pretty much it. Then what I like to do is take and wrap underneath this right behind the eyelet a few times, and then put some half inches in here. Pop that off. And then I put a little bit of UV glue on this thing. I feel like it kind of adds to the squirmy worminess of it to have that little bit of UV up there. Hit that with my light. Put it on here. Take these legs and the squirmy wormy. I want it about that long. And then I trim the leg parts a little bit shorter. That, where the worm is there, is about where I want it. So I'm just gonna pull these legs, and that's it. The Medusa Squirmy Wormy. It's an effective fly. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave them in the comments. Thank you.